Oh boy, Naruto. Now there's a lot I could say about this one for sure, but I won't try and make it too long, so I'm gonna try and keep it as short as possible. But anyways, where should I start? Naruto is one of the most popular animes within this day and age, and as popular as it is, it does get a mixed reaction, where there's a lot of people that say it's amazing and that it's a masterpiece and it's the best anime ever, and then there are other people that say that it's not that good, or that it sucks, or that it's a piece of shit. But just so you know, I'm not reviewing like the entire thing from beginning to end. I'm not doing Shippuden. Or if I wanted to say it the way how Naruto said it in the PS2 game, Naruto Ultimate Ninja 4 Shippuden, where the way how he pronounces it on the title screen is Naruto Shippuden, which just sounds really fucking stupid. Well anyways, I'm getting a bit off track here, so let's talk about the plot a bit. So the story begins with a nine-tailed fox attacking a village, and the fourth Hokage, meaning like the president I guess you can say, well, he happened to stop the nine-tailed fox by sealing him inside his son. And as you already know, his son happens to be Naruto Uzumaki. So after all that shenanigans, he grows up and wants to become the next Hokage, but first he has to do ninja schools. And Naruto is one of the most stubborn characters within this anime, I find. So usually he just likes to mess around with people and do lots of pranks. But after realizing that his teacher actually earns respect for him, he happens to join Team 7, which is consisted of, well, not only Naruto, but there's also Sasuke and Sakura, and their sensei happens to be Kakashi. So what they do in Team 7 is that they go around, do missions, and stop people from doing bad things. And of course later on they eventually do the ninja exam. And there's a lot of shit going on here, such as one of them being the third Hokage getting assassinated, Sasuke wanting to get revenge on his brother Itachi, and a whole other bunch of slew of things, but you know, I'm not gonna get too much into it because like I said, this anime is pretty huge and there's a lot I could go into, but I won't. And there are 220 episodes, which is a lot by the way. And there's even a hell of a lot of fillers too, which is kind of unfortunate. But to be on a positive note, there is one filler that is at least worth watching. And that's the episode where everyone is trying to figure out what's behind Kakashi's mask. I don't know why, but that one just really amuses me each time I watch it. But to sum it all up, it pretty much is like Dragon Ball Z, but just with ninjas and without the collecting balls. But that's a pretty easy way to sum it all up. And also, like Dragon Ball Z, there's also a shit ton of characters. But as I already said, I'm not going to go too much into detail about that. In fact, I'm pretty sure most of the people that are watching this at least know what Naruto is, because it is that well known to anime fans. So let's move on to like the animation and such. And I have to say, the animation is pretty good actually. But probably their best part with the animation would have to be the fight scenes. Those are done really well. In fact, that's probably the best part of the show, I'd say. And some of the character designs are at least interesting. Now sure, maybe not all of them look great and amazing looking, but there are some that are at least kind of cool and just very memorable. Just like one example I can think of is, if you describe someone but you're not entirely sure who his name is, there's a good chance that someone might know what you're talking about. Like, what's to say for an example, if you don't remember who's the guy that looks like Batman that has face paint on him, well, that's Konkoro. So I can at least say it does have a pretty unique taste, even though I know ninjas don't wear bright orange jumpsuits, but you know, I can forgive that. As stupid as it is, at this point there's just so much ridiculous shit that goes on with anime, I think that's really the least of our worries. Now, as for the voice acting, it has some good parts, and it has some okay parts. But there are some pretty good voice actors that are in here, but I'm not going to list all of them because, well, for the sake of sanity. So you have Yuri Lowenthal, Kate Higgins, Dave Wittenberg, Steve Blum, Kyle Hebert, Stephanie Say, David Lodge, Liam O'Brien, Tara Platt, Quentin Flynn, Sam Rigel, and that's all I'm going to say for now. But yeah, there's definitely some good cast here, but not all of it is perfect, but it's at least pretty good enough as it is, although Naruto's voice is fucking irritating. No matter what language you listen to Naruto's voice in, whether it be English or Japanese, it's still pretty fucking annoying. Now before I give the score, there are certain things I will say just before that. Now when I first watched this anime, I think I was in like 8th grade when I first watched it, and at that time I did like it quite a bit back then. And after a little while, I kind of like lost interest in it by quite a lot because it kept on dragging on and on and on. And it got to the point where I was just like, you know what, I don't care about this anymore. And then of course now I just like make jokes about it all the damn time. But now here's what the score I'm gonna say is. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, as much as I may not like this anime as much as I used to, I still have to admit, there are things to like. And even when I have not seen this anime in a while, I still remember a lot of things, so I guess this is one of those animes where as soon as you start watching it for a while, it's at least memorable. Although I think the main reason why there's a lot of people that say this anime is like really terrible is because they say that it's like really overrated. And you know what? I actually agree with that. I do think it is overrated. I mean, it's not terrible, but it is definitely way overrated. But now, just because something is overrated doesn't mean it's bad, it's just, you know, you just get sick of it after a while. But I definitely don't think it's a masterpiece like some of these fanboys and fangirls say it is. But like I said, even though I may not care about it, there are some things about it that are at least likable, and therefore, I think a 6 out of 10 is good as it is. And if I ever hear anyone saying like, oh, it's too low of a score, man, well, that's not really my problem because it's my video and therefore it's my own opinion. But hey, just be thankful I didn't give it like a 5 or a 4 or a 3 or hell even a 1. So either way, it's decent but overrated.